Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start standing up. Bring your feet so they're hips width distance apart. Bring your hands to your sides. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. Take these first few moments to bring focus and awareness to your breathing. Feel your feet rooted down into the mat. Feel your spine grow tall away from the ground. Release any tension you may be holding on to in your shoulders or your jaw or your face. And find a few more moments of silent breath here. We're going to be doing a lot of spinal work today. We're going to start off with a roll down. So go ahead and open through your eyes if you haven't already. Make sure your feet are hips width distance apart. Bring your chin down to your chest. And slowly start to roll yourself down to a forward fold. You can bend through your knees as you come down. And then at the bottom, push down into your feet and slowly roll up your spine. Come all the way to stand, shoulders, chin, and gaze are last to arrive. And we'll go ahead and take that again. Chin down to chest and roll all the way down. And we'll take about 10 of these. Now the point here is to warm up through your spine to find a bit of movement, also getting a little bit looser into the hamstrings, and the neck and the shoulders may be feeling a little bit of movement and mobility as well. And try to make this motion as specific and articulate as possible. So bring your chin down to your chest, and I want you to imagine that each of your vertebrae is rolling over into this forward fold. And you can start to take this at your own pace, but try not to move too quickly. Challenge yourself to move as slow as possible. Stay very rooted through your feet. Stay soft through your knees. Make sure you're not locking through your knee joint. Release through your jaw, release through your neck and your shoulders. And find a few more of these. Notice if they're starting to feel a little bit different, or maybe you're able to get a little bit further down into that forward fold. We're not focusing too much on hamstring opening right now. This is more about movement in the spine. And these roll downs would be something really good to do if you're spending a lot of time sitting down, maybe editing or writing emails. Just allow yourself to stand up, take about 5 roll downs, just find some movement through your spine. And this will be your last one. Pull your chin down to your chest, come all the way into your forward fold, and then make your way to a tabletop position. So walk your hands forward, tabletop position just for a moment. Bring your big toes together, open your knees, send your hips back to your heels for a child's pose. Bring your forehead down to the mat. Take a few big breaths in your child's pose. Think of filling the space between your shoulder blades as you inhale. We're going to start to take some movement from this child's pose. So lift from your hips. Start to roll your hips forward. Lift your ankles. Bring your chest between your biceps. Open your chest. Lift your chin. And then come back to it. So push into your hands like someone's pulling your hips back and move back to a child's pose. And we'll move between these two postures. So ripple through your spine, lower your hips, open your heart, lift your chin, and then push into your hands and send your hips back to your child's pose. And continue to move at your own pace. I really want you to feel this idea of rolling through your spine. Allow your hips to be heavy as you come forward into your back bend. And then almost imagine that somebody's grabbing your hips and pulling your hips back towards your heels to bring yourself back into a child's pose. And your breath doesn't exactly have to match, but just make sure that you're infusing breath with movement. Take one last set here. And then next time you come forward, come all the way down onto your belly. We're going to move through some undulating cobras. So bring your hands in front of your shoulders, lift your elbows up off the ground, arch up, and then roll roll your body down. And do this again. Push down into your hands, lift your chest, lift your torso, and then roll your heart back down to the mat. And continue to move and undulate through your spine. Notice this bit of a bigger range of motion happening in this back bend. You can adjust your hands how you need to. And you, of course, can push yourself up to your own range of motion, whatever feels accessible. Take a few more of these. Let your breath move. It doesn't have to exactly match your movement. And then last one, roll onto your back. Just flip on over. Bring your feet so they're flat. Bend your knees. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Push your hips up to a bridge pose. And then slowly lower down. Then take that again. Lift your hips first. Roll up your spine. Come to your bridge and then lower down. And find a few more of these. Just another way to articulate through your spine as you engage through the back body into your glutes and your hamstrings. You can also find a nice range of motion into the spine here as well. It's a beautiful way to open through the front of the hips and through the chest. And now this last one, option to stay in a bridge pose or option to bring your hands by your shoulders. And if you feel comfortable, you can push yourself up into a full wheel. So you're either staying in your bridge pose or you're coming up a little bit higher into a full back bend. Keep your hips pushing up towards the ceiling. Keep your chest open. Take big breaths here. Full breath in and full breath out. Wherever you are, slowly start to come down onto your back. Pull your knees into your chest, grab for fingers or wrists or forearms. You can take some side-to-side movement, maybe draw some little circles through your spine. Take a few more big breaths here. Feel this length that you can create through your lower back. And then one last posture here. We're coming into a variation of an inversion. So option one is legs up the wall. You can extend your legs up to the ceiling. Option two would be to come into a shoulder stand or a plow. So you'll lift your hips off the ground as you lift your legs, and then you can bend your knees so your feet come behind your head, or you can keep your ankles extended straight up towards the ceiling. If you're taking this option, make sure you're not moving your neck from side to side, but you're keeping your gaze straight up to the ceiling. Find a few more moments here. Breathe into your belly. And wherever you are, slowly start to roll down. Extend your legs long and heavy in front of you. Bring your arms down to your side. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And find a few moments of stillness and silence. Notice any sensation or shifts you may feel. Maybe your spine is feeling a little more lubricated. Notice if you had any pain that you're holding on to that maybe has dissipated slightly. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.